Hi, Karen here. I've been wanting to do this blog video for a little bit. When I went through all my stuff, if it wasn't as if the cancer was bad enough, it's the medical billing system that made me crazy. So this is the way that what I use to keep track of everything, because it can be extremely overwhelming. When I went through my chemo school, what they gave me is this small little bitty accordion file for me to put my billing in. As you can see here, I end up with 3 binders worth. So there's no way that accordion folder would have done me really much good, but I appreciate them giving it to me. So I want to talk to you about my system of how I kept in track with stuff, because it can be very, very, very overwhelming. And I know there were a lot of tears shed on my part due to all of this and the crazy mess of it. You just feel like you're getting billed for everything. So first off, I want to talk about, you make sure you have insurance. I don't like my deductible's super high. But I had insurance and it really saved my ass, to be honest with you. So let's talk about it. I use a binder system to keep track of everything. Accordion files may work, but you might grow out of them. First off, when you go to a doctor's office, and you have to fill out any kind of paperwork, you need to get a copy of it. I don't care if it's anything. If you sign anything, or if you even fill out check mark anything, get a copy of it. Because if that information for some odd reason has to be transferred to another doctor, like let's say you want a second opinion on something and they need that piece of information, it may not get to the doctor's office before your appointment. I know it's a scary thought, but it may not happen. But if you have a copy, for me in my case, I could say, oh, I have my copy of my paperwork. Here's what I have on file of my records. And it was extremely helpful. So what I did was, when I first got diagnosed, anything I signed, it's gonna be upside down for you, any wristband I wore, any parking ticket I had, I put in this binder, as you can see, and I just filed it away in little page protectors. I put everything in here. Any results I got, I put in here. Another cool thing is I can take this, maybe I shouldn't take it up, I'll show you. What they gave me here was just a little folder that holds business cards. If you, for some odd reason, these don't make it into your phone for your contacts, then at least you have their business card of your doctor, and I would suggest getting that because you'll have all their contact info. You can put in your pile. Like you can see, here's all my medical bracelets that I wore, because every time you go to the hospital, I was a number. I was slapped on a bracelet. I was a number, and that's all that matters. But these were my bracelets. That way I could show anything. I would suggest a big binder with just a good sturdy one. I'll talk about the one I think is the best here in a second. But clear protective pages are amazing. Anything you get, I would put in here. So here's my medical power of attorney. I had to get my taxes involved. So here's my letter from my tax person. This binder is filed away by doctors. So from day one when I got diagnosed, here's my gynecologist that diagnosed me, and here is the lab result that stated that I was diagnosed. Here's my next opinion. Here is the blood results that happened. As you go on and on, here's an oncologist from the first oncologist I saw. Then here's my MRI results. I took notes on everything. Keep all these, because you don't ever know when you're gonna need them. I would in fact put them in a bag, so when you go to new doctors or you're getting other opinions, you have all of it with you and it's there. I went to this hospital and I got even all their consents. Everything. Here's a 10-page patient form I had to fill out for one doctor. Now, granted, I had to get 4 oncologists before I picked one. Patient education. Anything they give you, put it in your binder and keep it with you. They don't have a problem making copies of it. They've probably been doing it for lots of people. Get your copies. Here's schedules of when I had to take medicine. Here's just everything that I have. Here, when I went to chemo, here's all my blood work. I've had to pull this up since I'm fighting a low white blood count. I've pulled up and looked at old blood, white blood counts, so I'll know what my blood count was before, and I can compare. Oh, this is what it was like before chemo. This is what it was like during chemo, and then now I have after chemo. Anything they give you, put it in your binder. In fact, I had my mother come with me to a couple appointments, and I just made her write on papers of what doctors took. What they said. I made her just write. I don't care, just write it down. It'll come really in handy when you're coming with medical billing and dealing with meeting your deductible. This is just more copies of paperwork and maps of where to go. That's in my patient information binder. Then when 2014 happened and I started I was diagnosed in 2014 and I started kind of like getting into the treatment thing. I went to a little bit more organized binder. And here's where I have little tabs. You can't see a whole lot. Maybe I'll put some pictures in this blog, but of tabs of different billing. So you're gonna get, a lot of times you'll get a bill and it'll say you owe yada amount. And you're like, well, that doesn't include my insurance. Wait, take your binder like I did in this one. This is my 2014 binder or 2015 binder. This little clip here, I clipped, when I got the bill, I would put the clip, on this side of the page. It doesn't have a pocket. So I clipped it to there. And then once I took care of it, I put it in the binder. Then once you get your bill, hang on that bill, put it in your clip. Then wait for your EOB, which is what you should get from your insurance, explanation of benefits. If they state on that they have paid it, then you can do whatever. I like to take the bill, take the EOB, staple them together. You can use staples, you can use paper clips, hole punch them, and then put them in your binder. Keep them all together. I like to even take notes on there. If I paid over phone, I wrote down paid with X amount, X credit card. I spoke to so-and-so. Here's my confirmation number. Ask if they can mail it to you and ask if they can email it to you. You can never get enough copies of this stuff. Then attach all of it together and then put in your binder. It's going to get really confusing. I would not file anything away. I would not take it off your clip on the left side and put it in the right side until you've paid for it. But do not be afraid to take notes all over that bill. When I didn't have questions, sometimes you'll get bills and it'll be like secret code written, like medical code. I would call them up and say, hey, what is this for? Because you can compare all your notes, but it's another language in that medical community. Take notes and say who you spoke to and who it's for. And that'll help you label it out some. I got lots and lots of business cards I attached to people that I talked to and spoke with. I put a lot of Post-it notes. You'll find them. I said, I can't get this one up. But there's a lot of Post-it notes in here of like notes that I wanted to ask on most of my EOBs. For privacy reasons, I'm not going to show you exactly all these. But I wrote on there, even if it comes out to like I paid nothing, like it was covered, I have blood work for my physical. That was back early on that I paid. Match everything up. Compare your data. Here's a whole thing of Post-it notes that I had all throughout this binder that helped me keep track of what was going on here. Because I promise you it will get crazy and really get confusing. And if you're sick and you're not mentally stable enough to take care of this, you need to make sure it is enhanced so when you do get back on your feet and you can take care of it and you have a system in place. Maybe help the person that's going to be helping you with all this, because you do need help. Promise you cannot do this on your own. They can help you get through all this. Have them match it up to where when you're dealing with insurance later on, when you're dealing with taxes or whatever you have to deal with, there is a system in place that makes it really easy, because it's going to be a headache anyway. It's just pages and pages of EOBs matched with bills. I wish I would have done the clip like I did in my 2015, like I did this past year, because it helped me to realize a lot of things that things were billed that weren't supposed to be billed. If you're, let's say for example, my insurance will cover all my birth control, but it won't cover my hormones. Since I've gone through menopause, I have to be on hormones, but my insurance doesn't cover that. So what I am in the process of doing is saving all of my prescription tabs, or whatever you want to call them, so I can turn them into my insurance and hopefully get some kind of relief from that, because it can get rather pricey. Another reason why this system is great is I have something marked over here I wanted to show you, or talk about, not show you. I had to, because chemo messes with your heart and can cause some stuff on your heart, I had to go through all this heart stuff. And I'm fine, don't get me wrong, and I have a great heart. It's actually working really well. But I had to have all this heart stuff done, and that's a different world too. So when I got their bill, I got billed by the place where I had my heart done. I waited for a little bit, so I got just to see what my insurance would pay, if they would clear it. Because a lot of times, like I said, you'll get the bill before your insurance has a time to take action. So wait. If you're like me, it's hard. I get it, because you want to pay it and be off and move on and get that off your record. But hang tight, because a lot of times the medical people will bill. They'll send you something before they send your insurance something. And then if you want to battle with insurance about trying to get a refund for something you paid, good luck. I would not recommend it. I would just hang tight for just a little bit to see what your insurance will cover. I've waited as long as like 6 months at least, and I don't know what that is in comparison, and some people may tell you that's a wrong thing to do, and yes, it did drive me crazy because it made me having to owe somebody something, but it waited for my insurance to kick in. Back to the heart thing. So I got billed by the hospital, I had my heart done. I waited and I got billed again. Then they sent me a itemized billing, which did not include my insurance covering, which was twice as much. So I got billed twice by the hospital by this company that they do their billing through. And then a month later, I got billed by another company for the same thing. But because I had a system in line and I had everything organized and I could track the dates and I could match up numbers, I realized that even 2 months later when they sent me another bill, it had already been paid. But that was because I already had a system. I had it all organized out, and I cannot encourage this enough. It's really easy for you just to pay it. You're in a different state of mind. I get it. But just hang tight and get somebody on board to help you keep on board, keep this in place. So like I talk about having that clip on the left side, I scheduled a bunch of appointments for the end of December to get it all in before my deductible, because I'm at the point still, even within my first year of recovery, I still have to see a doctor, an oncologist or radiologist every 3 months. And my oncologist has actually moved, so I had to in fact bring another person on board for a gynecologist. It gets crazy, but I scheduled a lot at the end of December to help meet my deductible. And so I've already gotten bills for that, but I know my insurance hasn't even kicked in. So they are in my 2015 binder, which I'm gonna have out for a little bit because it's just the 3rd or the 4th. I have their billing in there. With some results I've had recently, I've had a lot of blood work done because my white blood count is low. I have all these results. I just pulled them out here to show y'all. This is results from a functional medicine doctor. This is results from my PCP. I put all those together, and then I will file them away in my, these were done in actually October, so I'll file them away in my October. Here is an invoice. If you have a separate billing system or a separate system that you use for your billing, you can do that as well. Mine goes into here, again, matching everything up. Here is my patient work from when I did my heart stuff back in June. So that will go in the June section here. These have been in my clips. I had to, because like I said, my oncologist moved, I had to see a new oncologist, even though they had, my gynecologic oncologist moved. So I had to see a regular oncologist. You see how it gets crazy? And that meant all new paperwork. Even though I was a transfer in the same building, the same floor, the same room I've been going to, I had to fill out a whole new set of paperwork. But I just went and got a copy of it. I know they have a bazillion copies of it, but I went ahead and got one. Now I know if I need to look for something, if someone says I didn't get paid if I didn't pay something, I can quickly flip to it with these dividers and say, oh no, I took care of that. I paid it with X card on this date. This is who I talked to, and this is my confirmation number. And trust me, you will need those. Again, folks, this is my system, and this is what I use. I think the binders are great. You can put them on a shelf and access them really simple, really quickly. You're going to be stressed about enough when it comes to medical stuff. Your health is going to be jeopardized. A lot of stuff's going to go on. If you can minimize the stress that this is going to cause, it'll be vastly helpful. Your body's not, if you're going through medical stuff, your body's not going to be stressed by outside stuff, such as medical billing. Just try to create a system in place, and I cannot encourage that enough. Get someone on board. And if you have any questions about my system or you want to see it, more, let me know, and I'm more than happy to help you, because this can really stress you out and it can be really crazy. So again, if you have any questions, please shoot me an email at karen@livingamp.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.